So far, in this complete bathroom redesign and renovation, we have had to completely strip out the original bathroom that was in it, along with the complete tiling that was floor to ceiling. That has all had to be ripped out. While we done that, the walls came down. We had to take the plasterboards off the walls and chop the plasterboard off the far end outside walls, but it didn't stop there. We then had to take the panel width down from the ceiling, which brought half the ceiling down with it, so we've got to look at redoing that. Even more had to be done. We had the floor up. The floor was completely damaged and like a patchwork quilt. So we had the floor up, altered all the pipework in the floor to get our positions for the new shower, new toilet, new towel rail, new freestanding bath, and new 1200 twin basin unit. Once that was done, we had to put a new floor down. Then the walls had to be reboarded, then the walls had to be replastered, then we had it completely tiled, half height around the walls, full height in the shower area, which we first tanked with BW1, and then we've got the feature tiles in it. So now, finally, we can begin to fit the bathroom suite into this brand new redesigned bathroom renovation. I'm Mark, this is Real World Plumbing. This episode, we're going to get this all completely in, done, and handed back over to the customer. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You won't want to miss this one. Give it a thumbs up. Let's get on with it. Right, as I've just said in the intro, we're beginning to second fix. I nearly said first fix then. All that is done. We're beginning to second fix this bathroom out now. Nathan Tyler's been in and it looks mega. I really like this. This is proper cool. So what I think we're going to start off with is down this end, we're going to get the shower valve made in. That's the plate and the heads on. We can screw the body wand in and get that mounted up as well. And then obviously the rainfall at the top. So in principle, that will be the shower done. Then I think I'm going to concentrate on the screen while we've got all this room still in this bathroom. So if I get that done, get that shower area done, screen on, and then maybe just work down, get the toilet in and work down, ready for the big bath, big freestanding bath to go in. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to putting this together because I think if I stand in the doorway, that looks really cool. It's going to be real smart. Once that's in, and they've got mirrors on the walls, and however they're going to decorate it up, it's going to look really good. But it just looks so much bigger than before when it was like the brown floor to ceiling tiles. I think it just encased the bathroom a little bit too much. So being half height works a treat. Right, let's get some bits up and start over there. So for this valve, it's just a case of sliding this on. Now, what I always do with this is, and I'm not going to do it now, but I will do it before. I just want to get this in for the moment, and then when we're finished off in here, I will just do this. But for now, it slides on. What I always do is put a bead of silicone up there, across the top and down. Only a tiny little bead that can be cut off really easily. The reason being is that's going to sit there. If there's water coming in this way, it's open at the bottom so it can let any water out, but there's no water is going to get internally into the back of that tiling. Now, people are probably going to say you should seal it all the way around. That's the way I've been doing it for 30 odd years, and I've never had a problem with it, touch wood. I've never had a problem with it. So we will do that, but for now, I just wanted to show you with that on, like so, and it just pushes back to the wall. And this is why when you put them valves in, you've got to make sure they're dead plumb and true, because it will show up on that cowling when it goes on. But that is on. I'm not going to push it too far in. That's how that's going to be. Let's get the rainfall and the body wand in. So up top here, I've put in the rainfall bar. Now what I've done, and you may have noticed it on the first fix, I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, I use outside tap wall plate elbows. So we can bolt them to the back of the wall and screw them in, and they're absolutely solid. Then that just turns in. I've obviously got a threaded bar there. Turn the threaded bar in, then you can get that perfect depth to exactly what you want. I have had to trim a little bit off that with the angle grinder just for the depth, because you can never 100% know how far the dab's going to come out the board, the tile adhesive, etc. So always sort of go overkill because you can trim it down. So we'll push that back onto that again, or we'll seal around that before we're done. And then the head just screws on there. And then what we'll do, we'll hand tight now, but then we'll nip it up before we're done. So that's there. And then what we've got, the riser now, just had a little chat with the customer. The riser is going to go centre of this tile, so that sort of height, and then bang in line with the outlet there. So we'll sight that there, and then we can get the head on, the hose on, and then that's that done, just about. We're ready for the screen. So before the screen goes on, we'll just get the riser rail in place, connected onto the wall, screwed into position, hold it nice and tight. Then we'll connect the body wand hose on the bottom there, and you just set it into the riser. So we've got all that level through now. It is perfectly in line. We've got a laser level on that. Now I've just got my hands on the new Cigman CM SO2. I've always used the, what was it, Cigman 701. Similar sort of laser level, but they just brought out this new one. It is really good. Obviously, you get your carry case and whatnot with it. Handy with this, you get a little remote. So if you've got that set up somewhere and you want to alter the lines coming round, or you want to go vertical, or you need to, if you're outside, this is a good setting, you know, so it flashes, so you can see the lines perfectly. But it comes with, as well, this, let's turn that off before it goes mad. It comes with this little base. Now, I find this little base so handy. You know, when you're running pipes around a skirting board or underneath a rad or whatever, and you want to get your laser level on it, but it's just, you know, 10, 15 mil out, comes with a little lift. Really handy little lift thing. It's dead simple. You just pop it on there, like so, and it just makes it lift up the tiniest little bit that you need. It's got a little digital readout on the top as well. Comes with another clamp here where you can move it left, right, back, forth, tilt it, magnetic, screw it to the wall. Really handy, and a nice little carry case, rechargeable. But yeah, I just wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out because I had the one before, the 701. It's really good, and they've sent me that one out. So massive shout out to Cigman. I'll put the links in the description. Yeah, just a little bit of a heads up to it really, if you're in the market for a decent laser level. But yeah, it worked a treat on that. I've moved it now, but it worked a treat on that, and we're obviously going to be using it on the towel rail, the basin, everything, even the bath, getting it all level. So yeah, little shout out to Cigman there. Right, we've got that into place now. Let's clean down here, because I think next we're going to go for the shower screen. We are on to my least favourite job in a bathroom renovation, the shower screen. So I've just gone through the instructions, and as I always say, lay everything out. Get everything out, put it all in an area where you know, go through the instructions again and again and again to make sure everything is fine. So that's the side glass, we've got that there. That's the end panel for where the doors go in. The door is here. I mean, lucky for us, there's loads of room here, loads of space, so we can work with it. We've got the trims here and the top bar there. Now this screen is a pillarless screen. It's got your profile there to go up and your profile there, but the rest of it just holds together with I assume there's going to be a corner piece in here. No, there's not. Interesting. It'll all bolt together, I'm sure it, well, he's going to have to. But yeah, I'm following the instructions to the T because it's what you've got to do with this. We'll work out how the corner's going to go. Oh, to be fair, the corners work onto that, and then I think the door, what closes across, seals on that door, on that side panel. The thing with this one is, it says in the instructions that these have got to be drilled into the shower tray. Now, I never drill into a shower tray. I don't like doing it, I've never done it, and I'm not going to start doing it. So what I will do with this is put some power grab and bond from CT1 on the bottom of these to bond them onto the shower tray. I mean, I've done it before and it's not a problem at all. They go absolutely solid, but we'll just put some there and then that will go there. So basically, this end panel here is we're gonna have a profile go up there, the end panel will sit in there, and it will sit into that bit, and that will sit there. And to be fair, that's exactly how that one goes. Same this side, this profile will go up there, This screen will sit in and then butt into this little bit here. Let's say, for argument's sake, it's going to go there. So they're the two side panels and end panels. And then there's a brace bar that goes across the top, and then the door goes onto it. So in principle, it sounds really straightforward. Really hard tiles, so we've got to drill into it. And I've just checked in the van. I think I'm going to run out of those drill bits that I use, and I haven't ordered any more, so I may have to shoot off the screw fix and buy a very expensive tile drill bit, but it is what it is. First of all, we're going to get the profiles in. Come in 10mm from the edge of the tray, 10mm from the edge of the tray there, and get these two profiles up, and then we can begin working with the glass screens to go in and sit in position. But what I am going to do with this renovation is, I mean, I can silicone bathrooms and they're fine, it's not a problem, but I am going to get my mate Martin Coops in to silicone this. He is a, what does he call himself? A sealant engineer, or I started to call him a sealant engineer. It's what he does silicone for a living, so he's the guy to get in with the sticks and all stuff like that, and he gets it all in and properly in. When he's here, I'll get him to talk through the process of sealant application. That's the one that he uses. He's a sealant applicator, but they just finish it so much better. For now, let's get these profiles up and get these side panels in. Right, this is why it's so handy sometimes, making content, filming what you do, filming bathroom renovations that you're putting in, because you can refer back to the video footage that you recorded to see where the pipe work comes from here. The hole for the screen is here. I haven't drilled it through all the way yet, and I just thought, I'll know, where's that pipe work? So we looked on here, and you can see, I don't know if I can zoom in on that, but the pipe feeding that valve is between the two top valves on the actual shower plate itself. So the pipe work comes in across there. So we're all right drilling here. I just thought then, is it going to be right where we want to put that hole for the shower? But luckily, thanks to YouTube and the content, I can have a look and see where it is. So now we're all good. Right, let's get this one drilled, that one, and then the three down there. We've got the profiles up. They are now in place, both sides. Got this one on, got that one on. So now we're going to get the screen in. I'm going to get this side in first, which is the shorter one, because this side is where the doors go in. So this one should come to roughly about here, and then we'll get that one in. And hopefully with those profiles in place, we can put the glass in and it will hold itself, because we've got to somehow fix these clamps onto the tray. As I said earlier, I was going to use CT1 Power Grab and Bond, but what I am going to use is just normal CT1. It's a lot better at bonding stuff when there's water involved. So obviously there's going to be water in the shower tray. CT1 will be the one to stick that on there, and that corner one is going to go about there. But first off, let's get these two screens in. So this is going the side that the door's going on, so let's get it into there. Just always really cautious, because there we go. Loads of people notice as well when I'm doing stuff like this, I stick my tongue out. Must be a concentration thing. There we go. I might try and get it from the bottom and work our way up with it. That one is very tight to get in, which is good, but I've never known it be that tight to get into a profile before. Right, let's get the other one on. Right, we've finally got the screens in. They were so tight on these profiles. This one, I really struggled with this one. I know people are going to say, well, I haven't got them suckers on it. I don't know, they're in the van, but I'd already carried it in and I was halfway through trying to get it into here, and I just thought, you know what, we'll just crack on with it. But yeah, there was a lot of sweating. I've been outside for the last 10 minutes, just trying to cool down a little bit, got a bit stressed with it. Right, this is it. We've now got to get this bar to go across. Now these two fixing points here, the bar comes across. I've just measured this span here to this first hole. So I've marked it up, As you can see, those are the two holes that marry up with them two. And then it's going to obviously sit on the inside, but to measure it and then mark it there. So we're going to go down, cut that off, get that in, and then I'm going to sort of secure it to the actual shower itself with that CT1. As I always say with shower screens, just follow the instructions to the T, and just allow a good few hours for a shower screen, because this one is a bit of a pain. Well, they all are. Let's get this cut, and you'll probably catch me once this is all in now, because I just want to get it done.
So we get some CT1 onto this bracket, and then we're going to stick this side onto the right hand screen, as you can see, and it holds that into position, obviously without screwing into the tray. Put a little bit of CT1 on the channel that sits between the two screens, and then we can get the bracket on the left hand side, CT1 stuck into position, and we'll leave it overnight to go off, and it'll be absolutely solid come tomorrow.
So it's the following day. Now, I left this shower screen last night, as you'll have seen, to go off with these brackets being set in with CT1. Now, I'll now put these trims on so you can't really see it, but inside there you go. You can see that rubber sits in that channel. Now with that set and that set, this door slides and seals down on that glass bit, and to be honest, it looks mega. Because it's completely glass, bar for obviously the two side profiles and the bar on the top, it just shows off that feature wall so well. It's not the best screen to fit. It feels solid, feels spot on now it's in, but to fit it was a pain. And just with them in the instructions say that them two brackets need to be drilled onto the tray. There's no way I was drilling that tray, but yeah, I'm really pleased with that. So that's the screen finished off now. I've put the finishing caps on the shower. We're not going to turn the shower on yet because we're having Martin, the mastic guy, come in to completely mastic up, seal up this whole bathroom when we're done. So with that done, we're going to have a bit of a clear up, and we'll move on to the toilet and towel rail.
Okay, so when I came to fit this toilet, push it back to the wall, and as you can see, that copper pipe, which is the water feed to the toilet, is coming out the other side of the pan. My measurements were wrong. I'll hold my hands up, it was my fault. So we'll mark around the edge of the pan, pull it out, and then we can see where we've got to get this 50mm water feed so that it's behind the pan, so that it's actually tucked in behind. Being a close couple pan, back to the wall pan, it's got to be there. So we're going to bring it out there, but first of all, we're going to have to cut a little bit of the tile out, and also where that tile is along the bottom, where the pipe's coming through, luckily for us, Nath the toilet is coming back out this day. So we're going to pop that tile off the bottom. He's going to fit a new one. It's like it's never ever happened.
So just like the shower screen, I haven't really filmed too much of fitting this toilet. The reason being is I had my camera set up here when we took the tile off. I stopped it and then thought I had restarted it, but I hadn't. And this has been an absolute pain. Everything at the minute on this job is a little bit of a pain. To try and get this pipework to come in, because we've only got probably an inch before there's some, like, I don't know if you can see it, this battening, or the way it's been cast, so it doesn't allow us to push it back that far. So I've had to connect it all up and get it in, and now I'm going to turn the water onto it for the first time, make sure it's all right, and then push it back. Nate's going to be able to get that tile tucked in behind the toilet, because I'm just going to be able to lever it forward a little bit and he can get that in. So that's not a problem, but I just want to get the toilet tested before finally fitting it into position. You know what it's like with these back to the wall pans, you can never know what's going on behind, so let's get the water onto it. Right. Straight away. Is it up there? Where's it coming from? I couldn't see. Oh God. It's on here, it's on this connection, I think, to the pan. Right. Let's see if we can undo it in position. Oh, what an absolute nightmare. Ah. That toilet is finally in. What a pain. Because there was hardly any room at the back. Usually you can pull these pans out so far and then connect everything in, but there was hardly any room in the back of that, and I began to lose my head with it. You know, sometimes you're doing a job and you just, everything's just doing your head in. So just got on with it. That's in now. So now it's got to come, it's got a trimmer tile for there, and then we've got a couple of tiles to go on the end. That's all fine. We're moving now onto something, hopefully, that is fairly straightforward. The towel rail. I'll put the valves in the top. So all we've got to do is work from this point here, because we've fixed with the pipework coming out the wall, work from this point here to here, and then down to the second bracket, which I've marked up. From there, there, and then across the top. And we'll just level it through, get the holes drilled, and get the towel rail on. It is Friday afternoon, about 2:30, so I'm not going to drop the heat in. At least we can get this on, and then when we come back next week, we can drop the heating down, do this. I've got the rad to sort out in there, and then we'll move on to the basin, the big twin basin that's going in here, and the bath, and then we're also going to have Nick the electrician back to do the lights, extractor fan, switches. Dave the chippy's coming back to put the architrave on the door and sort out the attic hatch. So yeah, we're getting there. But first off, let's get the towel rail on. As you may notice, it's not one of my special 10 for £6 drill bits. I've had to buy this one from Screwfix, a Bosch one. It's like £8 because I think I've said in the video, I've run out of them. I've ordered 4 packs off eBay, £6 a pack, 10 in each, so 40 drill bits for £20, or you buy one for £8. I know what I'd rather buy. Well, I didn't, because I didn't buy them. I forgot. And to be honest, there's no massive difference. I know the ones that I get will go through this wall and this tile. Pretty much the same as what this Bosch one has. So, but needs must, I needed one. There you go, prime example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes, and the end's just gone off it. Don't know if you can see that, GoPro doesn't usually zoom in. But yeah, it's just took the spike off the end. Great. Luckily, that's the last hole through the tile for this, so hopefully my other ones wouldn't turn up when we come to do that over there, but the other two are in the plasterboard. So yeah, point proven, 6 holes, and that's dead. So there we go, straightforward as that. 4 brackets on, 1, 2. Now, as you see, I've attached them with ball fixings. Let me just show you. These are perfect. They can hold up to 116 kilo on a plasterboard wall. Really good. And as you're seeing, proper solid. So that is obviously stepped off a little bit because of the tiles, so we'll just ease that forward a little bit, get it perfectly plumb, level and straight, and then next week when we drop the heat in, the pipes are going to go straight to the bottom of there on their valves perfectly. So nice just been, and you would never know that tile had to come out. Obviously it's a little bit dark around there where the grouting's going off, but yeah, shout out to Nath, he flew out and redone that tile for me, and there was a couple of tiles that just needed to go on here. So we're getting there. Tile rails on, obviously not connected up yet, but it is 4 o'clock on a Friday, so I'm going to go and have this bank holiday off, because last bank holiday we was ripping all of this lot out, so I'm making the most of it. So next week we're going to be getting the basin in, getting the bath in, getting the towel rail connected, lights, carpentry, and Martin doing the silicone ceiling everywhere. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Finally, this bathroom is going to start coming together massively. Customers just stuck their head in. They are really pleased with it. So yeah, I mean, this shower area just looks so cool. Right then, I'm off to enjoy a bank holiday beer. So after a bank holiday weekend, we're back on the bathroom. Nick the electrician's turned up to give us some lights, extractor fans. What else are you doing, Nick? Lights, extractor fans, shaver point in the back of this basin unit. And we have just got up, the basin unit to go in there. So it's a 1200, so it's a big old unit that's going to sit there. So what I'm going to do today is get that in on the wall, and then we can look at running the pipework around the back of it. Got 2 basins on the top of it with a, it's like a granite sort of worktop, but I don't think the holes are cut out on the worktop. So that's going to be fun. But first of all, let's get this measured up in position and get it hung on the wall over there. So then we've now got the base unit in position for the basins to sit on. We've screwed this on just in case of screwing onto the wall. We put timbers in there when we boarded it, so we knew that we've got the strength in that to go against that wall, so that's fine. However, there has been a little bit of a development. The top that is going on here is this marble effect one, and as you can see, there's no holes in it for the 2 basins that are going to sit there. We're obviously having one basin on there, another basin on there, tap at the back of each one. So I'm going to lift that into position now, get the basins, offer them in, mark it up, and then I may have to shoot off and get some cutters because that's marble. I'm just a little bit wary about how we're going to get the holes through the top of that. I assume that they come pre-cut, but should never assume anything, always the way. So we'll get that on there now and do some measuring with the basins in place. Then obviously, once that's done and they're in position and we know where we're at, we can do the pipe work and the waste pipe work for the 2 basins. I've offered this basin into position now. We're half and half on here. So obviously the top's 1200, measure half of that 600, half of that 300, gives us the centre line. And then what I've done is worked out with the tap at the back there, we sort of offered it in and then measured it to see exactly which is the best sort of distance off the wall and onto the back of the basin. So there works, and we've marked just there. So we've got a centre line through, so we can now mark the centres for that and the hole for the tap, replicate it that side, and then get them drilled out. I've been and picked up a hole cutter and I've cut the worktop ready for the taps and ready for the basin. Now the taps, we got the holes cut out, 2 30mm holes, that's absolutely fine, they're perfect. For the waste, we were gonna have to use an 80mm tile hole cutter. Now, I didn't have one. I had a look at Screwfix, they didn't have one. Rung my tiler up, he didn't have one, and he said, to be honest, you're better off just cutting it out with an angle grinder with a tile bit, which I've done, and it's all going to be covered up with a basin. So we've got 2 squares out. We're going to seal all around there with silicone anyway, so it's not going to be a problem. And then when the basin sits on the top, like so. Once it's sealed in, you're never going to see it anyway. So that's not an issue there. So we'll get this one done, we'll get this one in, we'll get the 2 taps in, and then we're making a little bit of progress on this basin. And we've now got lights as well. Good, ain't you?
Yeah.
Right, let's crack on with this. I've bedded this down now on a little bead of silicone all the way around the top of the unit. Only a real thin bead, and then just popped that marble top on. So we can now get the 2 taps in. All we've got to do is pop that on like so, and then feed the tap in, tighten it up underneath. And then for our wastes, we're going to use the Epsom, which is a Thomas Dudley product, the Epsom Basin Mate. This isn't the one I'm going to use because this is a plug and chain. We are using the one with the spinny top on now. We may change this because I'm not sure if the customer wants this one or the push button one, but this is the one that's come out with everything they've got, and we fit the Basin Mate to it. So the Basin Mate, if you don't know, is we've got this waste in position at the moment, but if I just spin this over, so instead of using the normal washer that you get, you've got this big thick chamfered washer which goes on the thread of the basin waste, and you just push it all the way up so that it sits, so the chamfer bit sits like that within the casting of the basin. Get your ring on, because that just sits across the top of the rubber chamfered washer, and then you get your nut on. And when you do your nut up, it then tightens onto that, pushes that washer in, and completely seals it up, completely leak free. So we'll get this done up and tighten it up, and then we'll do the same. We'll fit the other tap on the other side, and we'll get the other basin in position, and we can look underneath about getting the pipework connected. But yeah, we just get that up to there, and then get your grips on it. Just hold your base, hold your waist, just tighten it up into position. No need for silicone, because these are completely leak free and nice and tidy as well. There you go, job done. That's the first one in. Just one more to go, and then we can get underneath, start connecting up the tails and obviously the waste. So with the 2 basins now in position, we can start putting the traps on and connecting the waste pipes to it. So what we're using on here is an adjustable P-trap. I find these so much easier. With that little bit of adjustment in the spout, in the spigot where it drops down, you can just tweak it on the trap to save using loads of bends or loads of 45s. So we're getting it all welded up. I've always used solvent weld from a waste, and as you can see, it's 1.25 inches, the other side is 1.25 inches, and then it goes down to 1.5 inches, or goes up to 1.5 inches where it drops under the floor. So we've got the left hand side one now done. Let's crack on with the one on the right hand side. You can see again, just adjusting it up and down to make it work. If you're liking this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the channel, because the reveal at the end of this bathroom is brilliant. And also, if you haven't seen parts 1, 2 and 3, drop back, take a look, and it's all building up to the end of this job. Obviously, we're going to use press fit on this one because I seem to be using press fit so much more. Yes, I can solder, but press fit at the moment is the go-to. It's quick, it's easy, it's neat, especially down the back here. It just saved the risk of maybe scorching them tiles. Even though you're not going to see it, it's got to look nice. So we just carry on now, getting the pipe work through for the taps on these 2 basins. How good does this look? Look at that. That is the basin unit in. They're not completely stuck in position yet. I've connected the waste on them, all the pipe work's done. It's just turned off on the baller fixes, but that looks brilliant. I think the blue, when we take this off the floor and it pops out properly, that blue tied in that shower area looks amazing. So
that's near enough done now. I just want to stick these down properly, and then tomorrow we're moving on to the bath. Now, I'm doing it tomorrow because I need a lift in with the bath. Being a freestanding bath, it's a big old unit to go in there, so I'm not going to be able to get that up on my own. So Dave Bishop's coming in tomorrow just to give me a lift with that. I mean, the tap and that's already connected, so it's a case of connecting the waste, lifting it up, connecting the waste, getting that on, and then placing that into position. Then drop the heat in, connect the towel rail up, and then give it a real good clean down, because just to finish this whole bathroom off, I think I've already said I've got Martin from Champion Sealants come in to completely seal and do all the silicone work. Just to finish it off, I can do silicone in, I can do sealing, but the way they do it just finishes it off perfectly. So we're getting close now to the end, so I don't really want to show you too much before the big reveal at the end of the video, because I think it's going to look really good. The customer stuck her head in, she's chuffed to bits for this, and rightly so, because this looks amazing. Obviously you've got screws and that ready to go back in still, but yeah, it's a really cool thing that. Right, I'm going to have a bit of a tidy up and ready for the bath to come up tomorrow. Dave Bishop's
I don't need a bath, do I?
Dave Bishop's come to give me a hand getting this. We've got the freestanding bath, so obviously this is the last little bit to go into this bathroom. So we're going to get it up there. We've measured it twice. Hopefully it's going to go through the doorway. I think they're made, yeah. What's the height of it? 600. Yeah, so we're going to go through the doorway with that. There's a little bit of packaging
762 is a standard doorway.
Yeah, so that's 600.
600.
So height-wise we'll get it through.
You should get your wallet down the side of it.
He's here, he's turned up with the banter. So we're going to get that into position, and then what Dave's going to do is, because obviously being a freestanding bath, it drops into position, so we've got to lift the end of it up, and then we'll connect our waste onto the bottom of it. And then with these, the only way you can really do it is with a flexible waste, because the bath's going to be moving when you come to fit it. So let's get it up there, and then I'll show you exactly the process of putting it in. But as I said, I probably won't show too much of it, because we're getting very, very close. We're getting this close to the job being done, so I don't want to ruin the reveal. But first of all, we've got to get this bath up. It's up, it's in. Weren't too bad at all. Well, to be fair, that isn't too heavy. It's just, because of the way it is, just a little bit awkward, but managed to get it up through the doorway. So what we do now, get it unpacked, and then I might show you just how I'm going to connect the bottom of it up, and then we'll leave it there. So we've got the bath laid over now on its side on the protective Dusty Boys mat, so we're not going to scratch it before anyone says. We just check the waist, that's all nice and tight, and then what we're going to do is level or get the legs fairly level, because they've got to obviously poke out from the bottom of the bath where they're going to sit on the floor. Get it all leveled through, get the bath turned back over. We've cut the waist down because we're going to come off the waist with an elbow, and then obviously our bath trap onto there and our flexi to get onto it, because we've got to move the bath and we've got to lift it and whatnot to get it connected. So next time you see this bath, it's going to be in, the room's going to be completely sealed up, done. Might get a little bit of footage of Martin doing the silicone in just to finish this off. So next time you see it, this should be all done and looking good. We are on handover day with this bathroom. It's the final clean up. I've got my Windoline, I've got my cleaning bits, my big wipes and stuff here. So I'm going to go in now, clean the bathroom out, get all the glass nice and shiny, and then we've got Martin from Champion Sealants coming over, as I've said, to completely seal the bathroom in. He's matching the silicone with the grout that was used on the job, silver grey. So the silicone is going to match perfectly. I'm really excited to see what he can do in there just to finish it off. So I'll film a little bit with him, not showing you too much of the bathroom, and then we can get ready for the big reveal at the end. I'm massively pleased with how this has turned out. The customer is over the moon, and I think after Martin's been and done his sealing up of it, he's just going to put that finishing touch on it. So just waiting for him to arrive. I'm going to crack on cleaning the shower screen and get everything nice and tidy for him to do that last little bit. Right then, Martin's here doing the final last finishing touches with the mastic. I don't want to film this way, but he's got some little bits to do down here, so I'm going to film him. Yeah, I've got a little plug for you on the back of his top. So Martin is who I've got in to just finish it. I mean,
people are going to be in the comments, are going to go, why don't you use silicone? And yes, I can silicone, I can seal showers and stuff like that, but on a build like this, I wanted it finished properly. So Martin's in with his sticks. There we go. What are you, a mastic applicator? No, what do I call you? A sealant engineer?
Sealant engineer, I'm liking that. We can go with that from now on. But sealant applicator, a mastic man.
So if you was to say to someone why they should use a mastic man doing something like this, a bit of exposure, what would you say?
We finished the finish.
Oh, don't, because it makes me sad. He said this before. He said he finishes the finish. So he's come in for a few hours and he's taking the glory off this bathroom.
I'm not taking the glory. The reason that my job becomes a lot easier when I'm following people around like yourself is because the finish that you've put down is neon perfect. So I've only got to come in and literally just fettle a few little bits and just put a good beat down that's uniform throughout the whole bathroom.
And he does. He finishes it off so well. Obviously, we've got. I'll show you in here. Just in the shower area there, and then you've got that triangle in the corner. So when you have three corners meeting, you put a triangle in it, don't you? As opposed to a lot of people, they'll just put it in with a finger and push that corner in.
Yeah.
So why did you get that triangle?
So you can leave a triangle, or again leave a bit of material in there. It's so if you stick your finger in there, all you're doing is pushing the material out the corner. That corner's going to be the first place to fail.
Yeah.
Like baths are the worst.
Yeah.
When you stand in a bath and the bath starts moving, depending on
it's that corner that goes, isn't it?
That corner always seems to fail, and then when you shower and the water's straight in there.
Yeah.
So if you leave a bit of material there, you've always got a bit of body. You've left a good bead everywhere else. So why take it out of the corner?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the easiest way to explain it.
Makes sense, mate. Right, I'm going to let you get on doing round the pan. Beautiful. There we go, finally finished. This bathroom is all done. So what have we done here? Completely stripped out on day one, took the walls out, the floor out, that big palmet that was up in the ceiling, that came out. Then we had to replace the floor because it was like a patchwork quilt. We had to reboard all the walls. We had to put the pipework in the floor for the shower, for the twin basins, for the tap, for the bath, the freestanding tap with the freestanding bath. New pipework in for the towel rail, alter the toilet, lights. Then we had to get it, after the boarding that me and Dave done, after that we had to get the plastering done. So it was fully plastered. Then Nate the tiler came in, tiled it, half height tile, all the way around, also doing the floor, and also in this shower area. That looks amazing. After Nate had been in, it was time to get the second fix in. We get the bath in, the freestanding bath that's just here, looks amazing. Customer is over the moon. The twin basins in this lovely blue unit, the shower in, the toilet, the towel rail, everything just to finish it off. Then we had Nick come back, put the lights in. Then today, before that, Dave come, done the trim around the door, architrave in, trim around the top of the loft hatch. All that's got to be painted yet, but just to get it finished off, we're at that stage. And then finally today, he's just left. We had Martin from Champion Sealants come in and put the finishing touches on it. Sealing up everywhere, it looks amazing. I'm really proud of this one. The customers are over the moon with it. So before you go anywhere, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me show you just how good this bathroom renovation is.